wanted to do here was just welcome you to Studfold. It's great to see that all Year 6 from Ashfield have come up, and I wanted just to give you a little bit of a brief insight into what Studfold is about and what it used to be about and where it is now. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them at the end, or if you see me knocking around and something cropped up later on in the afternoon that you want to ask me about, then just, if it's okay with your teachers, just approach me. Studfold has been part of our family for 17 generations. 17 generations, that's about 400 years. Does anybody know who was the King of England 400 years ago? Any ideas? I wouldn't have known until I looked it up this morning. It was either James I or Mr. Thompson, who might it have been after James? Well done, Mr. Thompson. Or Charles I. Anybody any ideas how many kings and queens there might have been over the last 400 years? Who said 17? Fantastic guess. It's either 16 or 17. So that's how long my family have farmed on this farm. A long, long time. And as you know, Daniel's my son, and I think he's the 17th generation of the Walkers to have been on the same land. So we're very proud of that. Now, obviously, we are predominantly farmers. Guys, I need you to listen to me. Thank you. We are predominantly farmers. Have you any idea what sort of farm we are? Put your hand up if you want to give me an answer. What sort of farm?
Cattle.
Yeah, we have cows on the farm. Anything else?
Sheep.
Sheep, fantastic. We are a cow and a sheep farm, but in order to have those animals on the farm, we have to grow grass, because that's what they eat. So in the summertime, we have cows and sheep out in the fields, and in the winter time, the cows come inside. Any idea how we feed them inside in the winter?
You bring in hay.
We bring in, this is straw, but we use straw to bed them down.
Silage.
Silage. Can you explain to everybody what silage is? Do you know what silage is?
Is it like fermented grasses?
But yeah, very, very good. It's grass that's cut, and then after a day when it's wilted a little bit, we wrap it in great big bales of plastic. You've probably seen them knocking around, and then we store them, and when we need to use them, we cut the plastic open, and we give the grass or the silage to the cows that are all inside. We have about 50 cows. How many calves a year do you think a cow has? Yeah, go on, you were just about to put your hand up. Not usually.
3?
No.
5?
No, go the other way.
1.
1. On average they have 1 calf a year, and they tend to have calves about this time of the year, so that, well, why would we want to have calves about now? Give me a reason why it would be a good idea to have calves about now.
Milk.
The mothers might have quite a lot of milk.
The grass is...
Brilliant, well done. The grass is starting to grow. That's the best food they can have. It's nice for the cows to have their calves so they can be outside eating the lovely grass and producing good milk for their calves. So we have about 50 calves a year from the 50 cows. We also have 100 sheep. How many lambs do you think a sheep has a year? On average, there's the clue, on average. Somebody that hasn't answered. Nope. Nope.
1.
No, I'll give you a clue. It's in between 2 and 1.
Oh!
How can 3 be in between 2 and 1?
1.5.
1.5. Now I can hear you all thinking, all your brain cogs are going saying, how can you have 1.5 lambs?
Average.
It's an average. So one sheep might have 2, the next sheep has 1, that's 3 between them. 2 sheep divide by 2, 1.5. So we have about 150 lambs a year. Again, we have them about this time of the year for the same reasons. The weather's nice, they're outside, they're eating lovely, rich grass, and the lambs are getting fat quick. Why do we want the lambs to get fat quick? They're good for eating, yeah. Our animals go, our cows and our sheep all go off, and we often sell them to other farmers who then fatten them up even quicker, and they end up on most of your plates. I'm sorry for those of you that are vegetarians. Okay. Can I have questions at the end? If you just remember it, I'll come back to you. All right? Now, we're not just a farm. Can anybody put their hand up and tell me what else you've seen on our land which may be able to provide us with an income? Yes?
Camping.
Camping. Brilliant. Where did you see the camping?
Where we were
Right at the very start, we have that field there, and we have 50 tent pitches, or hands down for a sec, I'll come back to you. I'll remember you, and you, and you. We have about 50 pitches which we can put tents or caravans or motorhomes on. Those pitches cost about £25 a night for someone to use. So if we have 50 pitches and they're full, roughly how much money is that, those of you that are really good at maths? 50 pitches, let's say £20 each. 50 pitches, £20. Say again? No? Don't shout out.
100?
No.
1,250.
If there was 25, yes. 1,000. If there was 50 pitches at £20 a pitch, £1,000 a night. So that's a fantastic income for us. Right. Yes, you were going to say something else.
Activities?
Yeah, activities like what?
The playground over there.
Yeah. So this trail you're talking about. What else have you seen this morning? Yeah.
People caving.
They weren't caving. They were doing gorge scrambling up and down the gorge. So we have groups that come and visit us to do that. What other groups come to visit us? Think carefully about today.
Sculptures.
We have sculptures out there, yeah? Schools come and do things like you're doing today. So we can make some money out of that, obviously. Anything else that you've seen? When you walked up the steep hill and came along the flat lane and then you looked back down to the valley bottom, what did you notice down there? Can't hear you. There's some cottages down there, yeah, that's where we live down there. Anything else? Did anybody notice any great big sort of rectangular looking metal shapes? Caravans, we have static caravans. We have a field that's full of static caravans and people pay us to come and stay in those. Why do you think we have touring pitches and we have static caravans? Why do you think we're able to do that? Somebody else please, you had a question a minute ago. Somebody that hasn't put their hand up yet. Think carefully about this question. Why are we able to have static caravans in the field at the bottom and another field where you sat on the low wall where we get lots and lots of people coming to visit us and staying with us? Why are we able to do that? Yeah, go on you.
Because you're getting loads of money from.
That's what we get from it, but why are people wanting to do that?
Because it's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it? We're so lucky to live in such a beautiful place, and people then want to come and stay here and have their holidays here and visit us. So we're able to make a different living other than farming. Do you know what we call that? Do you know what we call it? The fact that we've farmed for so long and now we're able to use the farm to make a different income, or to get a different income from the things that we're able to do using our land and the area that we live in. Any ideas? Mr. Dimmock?
Sustainable?
We hope to be sustainable. Who said that?
Thompson?
Mr. Thompson, not just a pretty face. Can you say it again?
Diversity?
Yeah, diversification. That's the word. We have diversified on our farm. Just before I finish, and I thank you for your questions, I'm going to answer any questions in a minute. There are a couple of other things we have. We have the adventure trail, of which you've been part of this morning, but it starts at the farmhouse at the bottom and goes all around our land, and it's there for people your age and a bit younger to come and visit us and see what the countryside's all about, have a lovely time. We have a building where we sleep groups of 30, and year 7s have been coming to us and doing all sorts of activities, so some of you may come next year, again back to Studfold, and a couple of projects that we've got in the pipeline. When so many people come and visit us, what do you think it might be a good idea for us to have for them to use while they're here? Anybody? Toilets, obviously, yeah, we've got all those sorts of facilities. What can anybody think of another way we might be able to make a little bit of money by providing something that people might want to use while they're here with us? Fantastic, really good answer. So, this summer we're opening a cafe. We're having a cafe here, and hopefully we are going to have lots and lots of people come and visit us. So if you're on a day out with your mum and dad, driving around the Yorkshire Dales, and you want somewhere to come and have an ice cream, or a drink of pop, or a cup of coffee, then think about Studfold. And the last thing that we're going to do, which is a huge project for us, we are going to invest and open a hydroelectricity plant. Does anybody know what a hydroelectricity plant is?
It's water, which goes to like a turbine, which generates electricity.
Do you know what? Have you got a dictionary down there? What a fantastic definition that was. We are going to use the water, and you saw the stream that comes down past where the den building area is. Girls, nearly finished, just look at me. We're going to use the water from the top of our land, and we're going to pipe it to a turbine house. The water will drive the turbine and produce electricity, and that should produce enough electricity for about 100 houses. Now it's a massive project for us, that is, and it's going to cost somewhere in the region of about between 400,000 and £500,000. But we should be able to generate an income of about £80,000 for 20 years. So it's a really worthwhile project. And the other side of that, what sort of energy do you think hydro energy is?
Economical.
It's economical?
Doesn't pollute.
Doesn't pollute. What sort of energy do we call that? It's a word we use for it.
Renewable.
It's absolutely renewable. Green energy. Really good, Jake. Well done. Green energy. Those words are brilliant. Well done. I've calculated that the carbon that we will save, the carbon offset that we will be able to tap into because of the hydroelectricity, will save 50,000 25-kilometre car journeys in a year. That's fantastic, isn't it? So all the pollution that comes out of 50,000 cars travelling 25 kilometres, by us producing electricity in that way, we're in an environmental way, we're helping to be really green. So one or two people had our hands up for questions earlier on. Yeah.
What time of what spring or summer do the coats come off the sheep?
The coats, you mean the fleeces?
Yeah.
They tend to be done just at the start of the summer, because obviously it keeps them lovely and warm in the winter, and then we take it off in the summer. It tends to be about the same time as we separate the lambs as well. So do you know how a sheep identifies its own lamb? Any ideas? It's nothing to do with the noises they make.
Smell.
The smell. So what we tend to do when we separate the lambs from the sheep, because the lambs don't need the sheep's milk anymore, they can eat the grass, is we wash them. We put them in a big dip tub and we give them a good wash. Why do you think we want to do that, other than taking the smell away from them? What else might we be doing? Stop it. That, yeah, absolutely. Anything else? What do you think?
Killing all the bugs off.
Killing the bugs on them as well. So that's a really important job. But that's it's about between now and maybe next 4 or 5 weeks, because they don't want those massive fleeces on in the summer, because like us they get warm and they don't need to wear as many clothes. Really good question. Anybody else? Yep.
Shearing?
That's shearing, yeah. We shear the sheep. We cut their fleeces off them, yeah. Anything else? Guys, is your hand up? No? Just scratching? Thank you for listening, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I know Mr. Dimmock's lined up some fantastic activities. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Right, okay. Can you come and stand in a circle around the bag for me down here? You don't need the bag. You just leave them here for a second. You will